Welcome back. Now that we all have our minds focused on theme and mechanics, let's make sure that we are all on the same page. A theme for a game is the story that it tells or plays out. This can fall on a broad spectrum. At one end, we can have no distinguishable theme. These types of games are called abstracts, and checkers would make a good example. At the other end, we have immersive games. These types of games are best represented by RPGs or war games. Dungeons and Dragons makes a good example of this kind of game. Most games, though, fall in the middle somewhere. For instance, one of my favorite games is Dominion. It is a card game themed as feuding medieval kingdoms, where the players take the role of a ruler. This can inspire art, card titles, and to some degree, mechanics of the game. Now, what exactly are mechanics? Well, they are defined as what you do in the game, and in some instances, what something in the game does. Sticking with Dominion as an example, its major mechanic is called deck building. This describes the player's action of collecting new cards from a central pool to be added to a personal deck that is then used to collect more cards for the deck. This mechanic probably doesn't sound riveting, but that's because it is the nuts and bolts of the game. It is through the addition of theme and rules that make the game interesting and competitive. Let's look at another well-known game. Yahtzee is a game played with dice. It is an abstract game that relies on a lot of chance to make it interesting. The major mechanics are dice rolling and set collection. You roll 5 dice up to 3 times, trying to land certain sets of numbers that you want to collect. The mechanic is set collection, and the rules determine what the sets are worth, with more difficult sets being worth more points. Most games start with an inspiration for one of these two aspects, and I expect you already have one or both in mind, but don't know what to do with them. For the sake of being able to move forward in your process, I have developed a worksheet that we will be filling out as we go through the lessons. I'll show you an example of myself filling it out first, then I want you to do it twice. Once based on your favorite game to help solidify your understanding of what we are talking about, and then a second time with your own idea, so by the end of the lesson you'll have completed a worksheet that will be your very first game ready for prototyping.